Here.
Tony Davis?
Sure.
Tom McNamara? Andrew Butler?
Here.
Need a motion and a second to accept the agenda.
I have a question on the agenda. Under new business, it says possible closed session. I see no need for a closed session.
Or do I?
That was put on there by, Mike Schmidt asked me to put that on there.
Is he gonna be here?
Yes, he's.
I see no need for it. If you want a motion to that effect, I can do that.
Well, we should wait,
Let's
see
wait
why
for,
he wanted
wait
to.
for Mike to get here.
Yeah,
That's noted.
he might have a reason we don't know about.
Okay, let's go ahead and,
Anyway, I make a motion to accept the agenda.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And your notation. Okay, hiring of police officers, what's the issue there?
I'll tell you, I'd like to start out with that one because Phil and I were asked to come up here on a Saturday morning from 10 to 2. But before that, and I would request, I want to hear the tape. Phil and I had the impression that we had already approved the salary through the 3 things that we had written out that Phil come up with. And Phil and I thought that we had given Jared the authority to run background checks if he picked out officers and go ahead and hire them. And it appears that certain people that are in this room don't agree with that and that think maybe we were trying to hide something and we weren't trying to hide anything. But I would like to hear the tape.
And that's fine, I have no problem with hiring people, and I agree, we agreed to salaries, but I thought the idea was for him to pick out and then bring them back for the council to
That's
approve.
why I'd like to hear the tape, because I'm not
Well,
sure.
yeah, and the tape, you could read it either way, because I've listened to it. But I'm the opposite. I thought our intent was for him to take those and go hire them. We give him, we said, we trust you to make the right decisions, and go ahead and do it. But, you know, the motion didn't come out that way, so here's where we are to rectify that.
Well, what does the tape say, though? How does it say it on the tape?
It's kind of ambiguous, isn't it? You could look at it either way.
The motion is exactly as it's typed.
Yeah, oh, yeah, exactly, but,
I listened to the tape, I read the minutes, and they're the same, they're unanimous.
exactly,
I don't see the problem.
yeah, but there is
I
no
would
problem
still,
that I
I
know
still
of.
request to hear the tape.
You can hear it anytime.
I'd like to hear it right now when I've got people here.
It's on my computer.
Well, we can rectify it by just hiring them
Phil, you've
now.
listened to it.
Yep.
What did it say?
Exactly right. We didn't get the motion the way we should have. That's-
Jared listened to it, Tony listened to it, and Phil listened to it.
Our-
Said
To
exactly.
me,
And anybody can listen to it. I
Yeah.
don't, that's not my
to me,
issue.
our intent is not the way our motion came out, but
Do we have a copy of the motion?
No?
Minutes?
Hey, mister.
I think this is this the one, Carla, you have to look to
What
see.
month was it, Carla?
September
I
29th.
knew it was in September.
Oops, no, this is September 9th. You have
That's a
29th?
meeting or something?
It was?
The ninth.
No,
Sorry, here's.
29th.
29th?
No, that's August 12th, sorry, I guess I
Fine.
thought I had.
But I can read it.
I mean, whatever's made now, we can still, do them right here.
Well, my only objection here is not hiring somebody. I would just like to hear about them. I have no clue whatsoever about these people that we hired.
We got some time, we want to go
That's
Jared.
what I think
Sure.
we need to do.
The first one we are potentially gonna hire is Jacob Zawadny, part-time. He's been in the military, I believe he served 8 years, I believe.
6, he was
6.
4 active duty, 2
Okay.
reserve.
6, I grew up with the kid, went to high school with him. It's kinda like the last 2 that we, hired. I've known him for roughly, I don't know, probably 8 to 10 years. He's a good kid. He's been
They were
doing some
approved in October.
ride-alongs with me, picking up on things quick. Alyssa Martin, she is in the military as well, female. She has a bachelor's degree, not in criminal justice, but very squared away kids. I mean, They're trainable, they're willing to work whatever they can work. Alyssa hasn't been out with me, but she seemed good. When we did the post-test, both scored very well. Physical fitness test, Tom and Phil can vouch for me on this, they did great. I mean, they were ready for testing, they came, they looked professional. They're excited to hire them up and
Jacob is from
get them
Mapleton.
trained. Yep, and Jacob lives in Mapleton on Fifth.
She plans to
Yep,
move here as soon as she gets her
Yep.
notice to move.
yep, she's gonna try and find a place. Her parents live in Danbury right now,
She's gonna
so.
live with them first, she said.
So until she finds a place, she is going to probably live in Danbury, so till she finds a place. But her,
Okay, so the testing you guys did was
Got the track.
the
that was
physical.
a
Yeah, physical.
physical
Well, we were
fitness
here- We were here for the written too.
and the written
Post-test.
Huh?
post-test.
Post-test, police
Yep.
officer selection test.
Post-test.
The written
Only
test.
thing the two candidates have not had yet is the psyche evaluation. The reason why I did not schedule that before hiring them, because I was hired in August, roughly the 9th, and I did not take my psych exam until September 10th. I just found out by Mike that that's probably not the way to do it. We have to do the psych first, which I did not know that, so that's my bad. I'll take heat for that. But we didn't get my results back until first part of October into,
Who
so,
does that for?
whatever I want. If we hire them today, I've got a guy from the Carroll Police Department that can squeeze them through quickly. Compared to send them down to the academy, they gotta get an appointment, do their thing. It might not be till first part of February before we get those results. Carroll guys, they're quicker, so,
They've got a psychologist there that'll do this.
absolutely. And I got that stuff from Pratt. Pratt sends all of their guys there. It's quicker than sending them down to the academy, and it's closer to be to home then.
And then the medical testing the same way?
The medical things, that's another thing. I did that after I was put on. I figured if we hired him up, I believe Jacob's got an appointment on Thursday. He's gonna go to his doctor, do all his medical, physical, hearing, and eyesight. And I believe Alyssa's scheduled, I believe, the first part of January, because she wasn't gonna start until the 5th.
So which one's part-time or
Um,
full-time?
She's full.
She's full-time, Jacob's part-time, and I was gonna give him as many hours as possible that we legally could without giving him benefits. So,
Which we, in one of those minutes, we agreed on 25 hours a week, something like that. It's in one of those
Whatever
minutes.
was under for the, not getting
Right.
the benefits.
right, okay, so say that we could give him 32, not give him benefits, can we
What is the?
put him on
what is
that?
the hours on minimum? What is the hours on that?
I think
It was 29, but I'm not.
I thought 30 was the magic.
I've heard a different number every time I've asked the question. I don't know.
Yeah,
It depends on the number of employees too.
Yeah, I know we voted on 25, but if we can go more than that.
We should-
Oh, here,
We should figure, Mike, do you know?
different options and costs were discovered. Motion by Tony, second by Phil to approve part-time officers working 25 hours per week. So, if we can increase it, then
If
we can always
we should
change it.
find out what that is about the minimum for,
Always change it.
before benefits.
Yeah.
Mike, am I correct too? These hiring standards have to be met pre-hire. Before they're hired, we have to have this done, correct?
Supposed to be.
Yeah. I don't see how we can hire anybody until all of that is done. It's the law, sorry. I don't have a problem with any of it, not a bit. The thing's gotta be done right per state code, per ILEA's wishes, and that's what they told me at ILEA 2 days ago.
What's your recommendation, Mike?
Well, Jared's right, you know, he didn't do this stuff, like the psych stuff, in a timely fashion either. I don't know what these people have when we're hiring them, I don't know whether they're certified, nobody asked me. I mean, so I didn't know when we hired him that he needed to do all that stuff, I didn't know any of this stuff till I just looked it up. I think we could hire him, you could make a motion to hire him, subject to them completing all these requirements, they can't work until they're all completed. And if they don't pass them, they're not hired, I mean, that's what I think is.
A conditional offer is legal, we've done it many times.
Yeah, I think they gotta be certified and,
They have a
within
year to certify.
within a year.
Yeah, we
Um,
told them both that.
So I think you can do that, and we'd be okay, but I wouldn't want them working at all until all of these are met. And it would be a conditional offer of hire. They wouldn't actually be hired until after everything is completed. So,
I'll make that as a motion.
Second.
Well, the next thing I wanna know is, neither are certified, I assume, the way it sounds to me. So are we paying for certification on both, sending them through the academy? How's that gonna go?
Well, I think,
On the phone.
I think they're probably both qualified to go up here to WIT because of their military background.
Well, they have to have a criminal justice degree to go to WIT,
Gotta have at least 2 years college for that.
and if they're both veterans, they'll both be eligible for VA benefits for
Right.
payment of their training.
And I told them both that already.
So the city will be out virtually nothing.
Do the part-time, they have to go to.
Yep.
Yeah, they have to certify as well.
and I have always recommended that we do the reimbursement agreement with any new officer regarding any type of training that the city pays for. And I can certainly prepare that, that's that document that says that they gotta work for so long and then.
4 years.
Yeah, whatever, you guys can put the terms in, I just need to know what they are.
I would be in favor of that myself, I guess. Gotta look out for the city's best interest of money.
Well, and if it's not costing us anything,
Right.
in the long run, that's fine too.
That could be determined later.
But yeah,
Yeah, I would, the motion that you've got's fine, but before we send them to the train, unless you wanna make it part of the motion.
Well, I think they got a year to do it, we can cross that bridge
Yeah,
later.
yeah, I agree, but my recommendation is that we have to sign that at some point before they go to the academy.
So what actually is the motion then?
I don't know, that was my next question.
Conditional offer of employment. That's so far,
Let's get the salary in your motion, Phil, what we show them that they are.
Well, we already approved you hiring them under
Well,
whatever salary.
Yeah.
so the motion was conditional offer of employment pending,
Pending him getting done with
psych
that.
and metal.
Required
I
test
just say
results.
all of the,
Yeah.
everything,
Yes.
all the state requirements to be a law enforcement officer,
Right.
which would include, everything. I thought they got everything done except the color.
Yep. Psych exam and then the physical.
And I don't
With all
have,
the medical.
you talk about this salary, I don't have a copy of anything, so was,
Do you still have that copy?
but has that been approved, or has that just
Yeah, we
been
approved that at
evaluated?
the
That
other
way
meeting.
back.
Yeah, we approved the
Okay.
hire.
I think that was in September when we approved that.
I don't remember the figures, but.
I don't have
Yeah,
that
he did.
either, so.
You want me to go grab it quick?
Please.
Here's,
we wanna make a separate motion for the reimbursement agreement or add
here's the
he
copy
didn't wanna do it
still,
right
if you
now.
wanna,
Okay.
He wanted to wait.
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, I know those by heart, I wrote them.
Well, tell her which ones then that we.
Yeah, I don't know which one was approved, because it just says, in that motion was to review these proposals and then,
The new one's white.
Full-time is only 17. That's this.
part-time is 16, full-time is 19.
Right.
Nice girl. She was. Yeah. Oh, in the middle. In the middle? Mm-hmm.
Motion by Tom, second by Phil. Motion by Phil, second by Tom, right?
Yep.
Okay. Conditional offer of employment pending all state requirements to be law enforcement officer.
Okay.
And then you also said the stipulation of if they came back, if they didn't pass, does that need to be in there?
Well,
It's-
by
it
virtue
is.
of,
By law,
of,
they wouldn't be.
if they didn't qualify,
They
then they
don't
didn't
qualify.
qualify.
They're not hired.
And
We
do
all
we-
understand that, I don't think,
Okay.
And do we need to put their names in this motion?
Sure.
Jacob Zwani is part-time,
Yep.
Alyssa
Yeah.
Martin.
Martin as full-time.
Does that reflect your intention? Everybody on the same sheet of music?
C-A-W.
Any further discussion?
Just a minute. Okay. I wanna make sure I got it.
You do.
Conditional offer to employment, conditional offer of employment pending all state requirements to be a law officer, to Jacob Zawadi as a part-time officer, to Alyssa Martin as a full-time officer. Anything else need to be in there?
I think the exception is we said they didn't have to worry about being the police academy and stuff until later.
Right.
That
They
should
got
not,
a year to do
that should not be
That's
inferred.
by
in that.
Iowa law.
That should not be inferred in that, because that's probably part of Iowa law already, but they have a year to do it, so that shouldn't be in that motion before they're hired.
It just says all state requirements.
Well, that's a state requirement for
State
to be
requirements
police
for
certified.
hiring.
So then
I
tell me
think
what-
we
tell me
should have
what
said
you
we
want.
did. Should be state
Well,
requirements
the hiring,
for hiring.
it's be a U.S. citizen, 18 years of age, hold a valid DL, not be addicted to drugs, alcohol, good moral character, successfully pass physical fitness, not opposed to force, high school graduate or GED, kind of surprised by the GED. Uncorrected vision, normal hearing, examined by a physician, undergo psych testing, undergo cognitive basic skills, that's the minimum requirement for testing, for hiring rather. I think we're covered. Code of Iowa does state, they have 1 year after the academy from there. And the record will reflect that because we have it right here. Does everybody understand the motion?
Yes.
We have a second, motion and a second, any further discussion? Roll call.
Phil?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Andy?
Yes.
Tony?
Aye.
Diane?
Yes.
Police dog.
I put that on there just because I had an insurance guy tell me that if Jared owned the dog, the city could not insure it. So I called Nichols to make sure, and he didn't realize that Jared was the owner. So he called ICAP to double make sure, and then I'd also heard you swore in the dog, is that correct?
Yep.
So then I asked him, I said, if it's sworn in by the city, then would it be an employee of the city and still covered? So he called ICAP to make sure, and the dog is, because it is sworn in, is covered by the city for liability only. If you want mortality insurance, you'll have to take that out. But other than that, and I just wanted to make sure everybody was well aware of that. But he also said that he'd had a couple deputies in there, and we're talking about using the dog from the city. He said, the only thing we'd have to do first is you must have a mutual aid agreement between the county and the city, with the city as the first liability insurer. So there'd have to be an agreement before the dog could ever be used.
I agree with that.
And he'd have to have that agreement before we're covered.
City is first one.
Liability.
First liability. Has to be listed.
What if the city leases the dog from Jared for $1 a year?
That's really what you're doing right now. That's exactly what you're doing.
I just wanna make sure I thought so.
Yeah,
But it's
So-
implied, it's not expressed as the problem I
you
have.
could maybe say that.
So before
It's
it
just
goes
like-
anywhere, it has, we have to have that agreement.
Okay.
Give
We're
it to
talking
Rick.
about this
Okay.
other sheet.
Okay, can we get that agreement, like, going as soon as possible, because I leave for training on the 18th?
Yeah, well, if you're going for training, the dog isn't gonna be going out in the
Right.
county anyway.
Right.
Right, okay, so if we have to okay, so if we gotta have an mutual aid agreement, how did Ida County's dog come assist me in the school the other day?
Don't know,
Because they allowed it.
yeah. This is what Rick is recommending for the
Okay.
city.
I mean, within our own county, and something else we have to understand is if this dog is involved in and I don't know how they just hand down the rulings from the Supreme Court about asset forfeiture. There's stricter rules, but if that dog's involved in something of that nature, the city gets a piece of that.
Oh,
And how
absolutely.
that's gonna pan out with the new laws, I don't know, but that's something to bear in mind as well.
Mhm.
And it should be included in the agreement.
Yeah, so what he's saying there is, if I stop a semi with 200 pounds of narcotics and $1,000 cash, or say $200,000 cash, we get a percentage. That can go into my fund to squads, we're getting new squads then.
And it varies between if we're primary or secondary as well.
Right.
We get more for primary, less for
Yep.
secondary.
Yep.
And any funds that are recovered that way strictly have to go appropriation.
Not that, yes, and it's for generally non-budgeted items, so if there's something that we need, it's not budgeted, that's where it should go. It can't go to salaries, it can't go to, stuff that's strictly budgeted. It can go to equipment, and things like that.
So maybe we can have Mike work on a
And
mutual
with
agreement.
these new
and-
laws, we have to do something, we have to be very cognizant of the new laws,
Is it-
because we could really get in big much trouble.
Is the county the only other agency you'll be working with? What about the patrol?
The county and the patrol probably, and probably all the NARC units within Sioux City probably. You never know, I mean,
Our dog, when I worked for the county, the dogs were used by Woodbury County, Sioux City PD, Drug Task Force, Crawford County, Harrison County, anywhere within 50 miles is a potential, I don't wanna say customer, but that's.
So do I have
that's
to get
what
all
they
these
are.
guys on a mutual aid agreement?
I don't know, I leave.
What
out
about
blank
DOT?
spaces.
That's what I'm saying too, because it'd be easy to get involved with Crawford or Harrison. you know.
What I would do, I would just do one for the surrounding area, for our own county and just the immediate surrounding area. The state patrol has their own canine corps, which is quite large, so I doubt they'll ever be calling us.
So maybe Monona
Basically,
County and Ontario
Crawford got their own dog.
And Crawford just acquired their own dog about a year and a half ago, I believe.
okay,
Monona would be the main.
so I got a question. And I do search warrants here, I'm bringing in UTEC from Crawford and Shillington from Ida. They already said that they would open anytime. So I believe that it's only right for me to give them the same favor back. I want to be able by the city here to go and assist them on my own time. I don't need to get paid for it.
By law, if you're requested, you really can't refuse.
Right.
Gotta go.
That's mutual aid.
Right, I just wanna make sure that if they assist us, I will be going there.
I think that's
Yeah.
only,
Absolutely.
it's only fair reciprocity.
Yep,
Everybody helps us, why wouldn't we help them?
exactly. And Shillington from Ida County, he's been amazing. I mean, he says, you know, whatever you need, search warrants, school deal, bam, he's right here, so.
Back to this lease deal, do we need to make a motion that we're gonna lease it, or you're gonna draw something up?
I think we should have something on paper. It's always best to have something expressed.
But should we make it legal by doing a motion and stuff? or-
Why don't you
I don't
just,
know how you
why
want
don't
it.
you just authorize me to put together a mutual aid agreement and put together a lease for the
Okay.
dog?
I'll have them.
Next meeting.
I move that you do that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Okay, I had the other one too. The only other thing Rick and I were talking about is riders. He needs a written procedure between the city and the police department that states what is allowed. So just having somebody sign a waiver is not good enough for the insurance company unless we already have a written procedure written up that states this is what you can do and this is who you can have, and because otherwise, he said, we're really not covered liability wise.
For the dog?
No, I'm
No,
sorry, this is
just-
riders.
Just to get in the
People.
truck and ride with him.
Oh, riders. Oh, I thought you meant insurance.
Observers.
Yeah, that's what I thought she was talking about too.
Passengers.
Passengers.
Oh, yeah, yeah, he needs to have
Do
four.
we have that now?
We have it's in the policy procedures manual.
I think-
And if it's not, put something in there.
Yeah, there's a form we should have.
Yeah.
Used to be.
I think there still is, I think I read in your, you probably have it in there in the office.
But he doesn't,
About
he won't need
people
that
that-
for the
If
two
he has
officers.
to go on an emergency, they gotta get out and blah, blah, blah.
You don't need it for employee.
No,
No.
but this is just for general public, and Rick just needs a copy.
Yeah.
Make sure
Okay,
that,
since we're talking about this, so this psych evaluation for at least Jacob, and the physical and medical stuff, probably gonna take roughly 10 to 15 days to get back. Is he allowed to ride with me at night, during the day?
Until he's an employee, you'll have to sign those waivers.
Okay,
And don't let him don't let either one of them do it.
right, right,
They'll be treated just like I'm sitting next to you,
Right,
which
yep.
I can't do anything.
right, yep, yep.
that's all I got.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so that the police insurance issue's been solved. We knew what to do, we know what to do. Donations for police dog.
Okay, so I got a donation from the First State Bank. I guess my question is, can I do kind of like the fire department does? Open up my own account through the city, so if I got donation stuff and I want to pay for things, food, vet bills, bite suits, training things in Minnesota, can I just take the funds out of that account for myself and my dog?
How it's normally done, any, it's even true for the fire department, any fund that comes in has to be accounted for by the city clerk.
Okay.
And then it goes into a line item. And you have a certain amount of discretionary spending already, and is that 500 or 1,000?
$500.
And you can discretionarily spend at that amount, unless the council increases it. But the money has to, anything that comes in has to be accounted for, and that's the same for the fire department. It just goes in a line item, they can spend it for their expenditures, and all it comes back to all the bills, and the council votes to pay.
Okay, so say I want to buy $1,000 bite suit. Do I have to get that approved before I do that?
The bill has to be, I would think you would, since it is more than the discretionary amount. But it shouldn't be a problem. If the line item can handle that amount, it should not be an issue. And it's a necessary item. You can't have a dog without a bite suit.
Right.
I'm not gonna take a bite for you without a bite suit.
Yeah, that's right, because, okay,
And that's how it's normally done, right, correct?
Right, and, you know, Carla mentioned that this was gonna be on, and I saw it on the agenda, so I was thinking about it. You know, I thought, well, we're leasing the dog, we could fashion where you just take the money, you get the donations, keep it, do it, but that wouldn't be good for you. That'd be considered income,
right,
and you'd have to report it.
yep,
And so, the better way is to go through the city, which is a tax deduction for whoever donates, because the city's tax exempt. So Roger's right, just, you're not gonna have any problem getting, you guys can increase the discretionary spending above 500, but the higher you get, the more scrutiny you're gonna get from the auditors, you know what I mean? So that's better for you too.
right.
So I would say keep it the way it is, give the donations to Carla, put a dog, canine, donation line item, David, you guys can set it up.
And not only that, you keep any suspicion of improprieties with the funds
Yeah.
out of it.
And so you just keep track of your stuff, I would say, you know, like dog food or whatever, and so you just submit it, Carla will reimburse you if you wanna do it that way.
That's probably
Or have her write you a check for it, and you go get it, however,
That's what I'll do probably, okay,
yeah.
okay, thank you.
Anything else on the agenda, so the closed session is not gonna be needed. So, that being said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make it.
Second.
All in favor?
Right.
Thank you, everybody, and before you all go, I want you to know that you've been a very good council, I've enjoyed working with you. Our city staff has been outstanding.